just making a video note. The topic of spirituality came up, and somebody's flipping out at the moment. Right now. This is something I've seen before in society. A lot of people don't understand it. How archons control people and cause people to freak out when they're exposed to the idea that God is omnipresent. I just watched a guy flip out and expose the idea that God is omnipresent, and he's saying he's going to walk back up the hill. We're going to town by ourselves. He's ditching his friend.
I ain't going to argue with you. What? What's the problem there? Ronnie.
Yes.
Why don't we just go to town? Come on, Amy. You're absolutely not going?
No, I ain't going.
All right. I ain't gonna argue with you.
You know, our fans are going to find this entertaining.
Well, I didn't mean to upset him. Jeez, I don't see where anything I said was that upsetting. Did you? My life experiences, my thinking, and all like that. Now, what I said basically was male and female created he, them. And, I mean, you know, you got a Father in heaven, our Father who art in heaven. Where's your mother? Unless you worship a faggot God, you've got a mother. The mother is the earth. Simple. I mean, but he gets upset about something like that. I didn't say he did. I said unless you do. And that's, you know.
It could be because I'm here too, even though I really wasn't saying anything. I didn't say that much. We were talking about electromagnetic spectrum, but to this mountain, I don't know why they have to be like that. That's rude. And now I feel guilty, like I'm upsetting Robbie from even being here and encouraging you.
You mean Ronnie?
Yeah.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. Ronnie came here of his own free will. I told him, you know, this is gonna be different. You know, and I talk about this type of stuff, and he just doesn't want to hear it. But this is me. And
but you were friends, or you are friends,
yeah.
and you came up here together, right?
Right. And he had health problems. A lot of that's been resolved. I mean, you know, it's been good for him altogether. But I'm me. I have certain set of life experiences that I've gone through. I have certain things that I have experienced. I'll talk about them. And those include a lot of mystical experiences and a lot of things that I've come to realize as I've gone along. You know, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to throw away and ignore my own life experiences because somebody gets upset that I've had them? Or, you know, he don't want to hear about it? Fine. He went back to the house. That's his business.
Clear blue skies, very clear day today. You can definitely see the contrast between the geoengineering days and the blue skies. The blue skies are really what shows us what it's supposed to be, as opposed to the day before yesterday.
Yeah. Well, Ronnie has a hard time though coming to grips with stuff he sees right in front of him. I talked about the contrails and aerial spraying, and he doesn't believe that that's happening. And I said, look, you know, you go to the library, you go to the Congressional Record. The CIA has been right in there at the Congress, and part of their funding when they go in and get their budget every year is for weather control projects. What the hell do you think that aerial spraying is?
That came up too in the conversation. I said, yeah, I believe that's real too. Because they have admitted programs where they say they're trying to fight climate change. Doesn't mean that's what they're doing it for, but they're admitting now, and you can go to Google News and read real reports.
That the aerial spraying is going on? It's just like
or that they're proposing it for the future. There's different programs, yeah.
I told them like the mind control projects of MK Ultra. And people think, oh, that's some kind of tinfoil hat conspiracy shit. No, it's in the Congressional Record.
It's funny you mention that because I have a blog about mind control in 05, and I just got a message from a young lady saying, where are you getting your facts from? This is an 11-year-old article. In addition, when Devin Pignon wrote an article about me trying to write me as crazy, of all the things I'd done, he chose to pick that Mind Control 2005 article that Jeff Rentz posted on his website. He was that impressed with it because I was analyzing flicker rate, television, and using imagery in the media to promote war. And whatever was written in there, all of a sudden struck a chord with the archons recently. If the article's coming back.
Yeah, I think a lot of the archons are just dead. It's just their energy emanations are still there.
Well, when that happened, this world, even including natural areas, it's like we all have an inner archon or inner part of us that can be controlled. You said through our emotions is one, through dogma. If dogma's challenged, someone could get violent because of that archon programming, whether it's the archon affecting them now or programming in the past 10 years ago.
Well,
They'll be faced with information that will cause an eruption or disruption.
It's like Bob Dylan wrote one of his songs. My guard stood hard when magic flanks of musketeers deceived me into thinking I had something to protect.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we deceive ourselves. What are we protecting? What are we got to be defensive about? I mean, these things happen. It's a part of what's there. If you do the research, you will find it. And you'll find it in reputable sources. Now, like I say, I pointed to the congressional record. You go to the congressional record, and it was Congress that ended the funding and stopped, or supposedly stopped, the MK Ultra program. Well, where do you think a lot of these assassins came from that were so prevalent back then? Huh? Think about it. We started that off. It's been response and counter-response, and all like that ever since we geared up for World War II, just about it. We haven't ever down-geared from a war footing. They used what they call brainwashing during the Korean War. The Koreans started this on American soldiers they captured. Well, our government, people here in our intelligence operations and all like that, took a look at what they were doing and said, well, we can do that, and let's develop some better programs. And they started using things like, of course, everybody knows about sodium pentothal. They dropped LSD into the coffee pots in day rooms of the military and then recorded what happened. They did all kinds of things as part of what makes the mind work and how do we get it to do what we want it to do. And one of the things they did was sensory deprivation. They found that out, sleep deprivation, other things like that they could use naturally that cause a breakdown in the resistance of the mind to the programming. And once they get that breakdown achieved, then they rewrite what they want to, and it's there. It's just like what you watch on television. These early 50s, that they had a single image or a single frame of a Coke in the middle of a desert scene, and it boosted the sales at the concession stand. But what they have now is what you call low-light messages. You can put a message on that screen that is subdued. You can't see it with your conscious eye. Your unconscious eye or your unconscious mind picks up that message.
And some people have learned about this technique, and they've unfortunately decided to incorporate that into their sales and marketing. And they're not part of the New World Order, but they've learned about the techniques, so their people are manipulating others. What's also interesting, real quick, Russia's real popular these days. You might have heard, Putin, they're saving the day now. They're going after ISIS. Well, Russia in the 50s, according to Nick Begich, pioneered a lot of this early mind control technology, where they did a few tests in public squares or major cities, where they sent out a signal to the construction workers building the buildings to return to the town center with cake. They all came delivering cake at noon. It was some sort of experiment. If they can get them to do something that specific, to go to the market, buy something, and deliver it. And that was in the 1950s.
Well, there's a lot of other things they've done too. You're talking about the basics of when they started and where they're at now. It's just like, I'll give you an example on spy technology. Our spy satellites up there, during the Iranian hostage crisis, when Jimmy Carter was president, would pick the Ayatollah out from a crowd by the shape of his beard, looking at him from straight overhead, straight down at shape of his beard. Okay, that was in the 1970s. Do you think they've sit still on that technology? No, it's advanced. It's gotten better. We had artillery shells that were computer controlled back in the late 70s. The artillery shell coming down on the battlefield, it's got a low intensity camera in it. It picks up the images of vehicles on the battlefield. It will divert itself towards an enemy vehicle and away from a friendly. They developed that back in the 70s. Where are we at now? Laser technology, all these other things there. They have it in there. They have it. It's not out to the public. The public doesn't need to know this stuff. I mean, control the flow of information. And it all gets to be one big circle.